he was the closest worthy person. That is why Sora has a Keyblade. It is by chance.
I thought it was really because Venus was in his heart.
Nope. That has absolutely nothing to do with it, man. Sorry.
It coincidentally helped.
It just doesn't make sense.
So, this treasure chest. Why I hate this treasure chest. It's locked. It's not locked for some, like, cryptic puzzle or anything. And anything after this literal room, I can unlock. Because of a Keyblade. But unless I talk to Yuffie in this room, I have to come back later to open the treasure chest. So I read that dialogue. My problem with that is if I think logically, oh, I'm going to talk to Leon first, it'll trigger a cutscene and I won't be able to do that until I come back and find my way back to this room. Which, I can only guess at where it is.
The problem with that entire situation was that the game was teaching you how to open up chests, but at the same time, you already know how to open up chests.
Well,
you actually
my thing is,
a chest yet.
Well, I mean, I see a chest with a keyhole. I would think logically, I have a big key, I can open it.
Let's go.
So when I can't open it, I'm gonna think, oh, it doesn't matter if I talk to Yuffie. Why would I think then, oh, it opens now?
A better solution would have been forcing you into that Yuffie dialogue so that she would...
You know what would be a better solution? Just using goddamn logic and being
But-
like, oh, look, a keyhole!
What?
I mean, that was the thing, is that the game is basically trying to teach you that you can open up chests, but at the same time, you've already been opening up chests all game.
That right there is the difference between tutorials and hand-holding. I can look at that and see that it has a keyhole, and I'm holding a giant key. I did not need Yuffie to tell me.
One slight mention is not...
But the thing is,
but the fact that I had to talk to Yuffie to open that trash chest is actually confusing.
That's...
But the
No,
thing-
that's
what I
stupid.
mean.
What I was saying is...
I know, I was just making a point.
And the thing is, we both know, I'm not gonna name any names, there are certain types of people to where the game basically has to stop and force them to do it to get it, and even then they still don't pay attention.
Well then, it's not the fault of the game.
It's not my fault.
The game should be able to show you something very obvious and you get the idea.
It's not my fault. There are...
Obvious connecting is fine, but if they wanted to teach you that, Yuffie should have mentioned it before you gained control. That way you have a small tutorial, the logic's there in case you were already kind of guessing.
Although, and my other problem with that is, what's the point of having locked treasure chests that the Keyblade can open in the first place? No other game does that. I'm sure for that reason. The treasure chests with the keyhole are, as far as I know, in no way different from a regular treasure chest. The only difference is that I have to talk to Yuffie to open that one treasure chest, and that there are other treasure chests in the game with locks. But Sora has the ability to just open them.
Yeah.
I can only assume
it's like I told you. The only reason that is the thing is because the game just tried to teach you how to open up chests, but you already know how to
The
open
chests are...
But I already know how to open up chests. That's Ryan's right. There is no reason for the keyhole ones to even exist, let alone for them to teach me how to open them.
It's more... They were doing lore building. It's a key, it opens locks. These treasure chests are locked.
Oh, okay, but that doesn't make sense to why there's more treasure chests. Yes, I can see your point there. So yeah, you make a good point. Yeah, for that one treasure chest, you can unlock things with locks. So this one treasure chest now opens.
Also, note, it just introduced you normal heartless enemies that you will encounter that also have hit stun, just like Leon does.
What?
You have enemies, the soldiers, just like Leon when you were fighting him earlier. When Leon prepared his attacks that were slow and heavy, Leon ignored hit stun, which means basically you would hit Leon and your hits would go through and you do damage, but he would still do his attack, which is exactly what the soldiers do. The soldiers have attack that they charge that's slow, does a certain amount of damage, and when they charge it, they ignore hit stun, which means they do not knock back or ignore or get knocked out of doing the attack.
Talking about 358 over 2 days, one of my favorite things in that game for lore building, every type of Heartless has a subset, like they come in varieties that are weak, and they get stronger. My favorite...
That was clearly a DS technical limit, though.
But one of my favorites is that the weakest versions of the soldiers are called deserters. That's interesting to me, and then it's like...
Why?
A deserter is a soldier that ran away from an army. Those are the weakest. Then you have like the soldiers. Then it's like commanders and generals.
Ah, perfect timing.
So that was cool. Then we have Duskflyer, and Duskflyer can suck a
Perfect
dick.
timing for some potions.
Well, specifically Mega Potions.
This is why I said I feel the hardest point of the game is Olympus Coliseum. Well, technically.
Do you know the horrors of Duskflyer? Do you know what we're
I've
talking?
explained it to Brian.
Oh yes, he explained it to me. I looked up a video even, and I was like, oh my god, this is ridiculous.
Because
I also subjected Brian to Team Bumpity Trot on purpose.
Bumpity trot, man.
That's the Japanese name. The worst.
Ryan, tell him
A
before
relaxing non-linear adventure. Steambot Chronicles.
The worst part about Duskflyer, the boss is garbage, but they don't. So you can run away. The doors work. So sometimes you'll combo into a door.
Or get knocked into a door.
Is that ladder moved yet? I can't remember.
No lie. When I got home, I was about to be like, I want to play some Bumpity Trot.
I don't remember.
Ah,
I want to play some Bumpity Trot.
Yeah, you know, like I said in some other commentary where we brought that game up, there is probably someone you have just offended like so much because that's probably
it's
their
so
favorite.
bad.
But that's probably someone's favorite RPG ever.
You know, every game is everyone's favorite game.
I'm here to
That
It
means
probably is, but
But
it's
I
just
cannot
that the
agree.
controls are terrible.
You see, I can't accept.
Every game has some fans,
See,
but
I
then you
can't
have.
accept that statement
I mean-
because that means someone unironically enjoys big rigs, and I can't accept this.
Okay, no, do not shit on big rigs over the road racing.
Big
It
rigs
is,
over the road racing.
it is so broken that you can
I
get
said
legit.
unironic.
But then it just becomes you don't play big rigs to play big rigs seriously. You play it so that big rigs can be broken because big rigs is they basically packaged a alpha build of a game
No,
released.
pre-alpha.
Have you seen big rigs? Yeah.
It's hilarious.
It's so notorious, I'd be surprised if he didn't.
There was a speedrun category for big rigs. Which was actually difficult because in big rigs to gain speed you have to drive backwards, so the guy was doing the races while driving backwards, which was impressive. Anyhow,
Oh, the squad team.
so hashtag squad goals?
Why is Donald already missing 1 bar of mana?
because he's already casting magic.
Also, why is Donald...
That's Donald and Goofy!
I swear the battle started with him missing a bar of mana.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
also,
firing
why-
off magic
Oh,
that
he
fast.
gets in the battle, he casts like something that's a whole bar of mana. Boom, there it is.
Also,
Epic recolors!
also, why is Donald hitting things? He's the mage. You don't let the mage do attacks.
Donald will either never heal you or you take 1 hit point of damage. Heal!
You get a scraped knee. He casts...
My problem with this game compared to Kingdom Hearts 2 with Donald is that you have to earn the magic for this game for Donald. Like, he gets the magic with you. Whereas in Kingdom Hearts 2, there are abilities that he can get early on.
My problem is that they're both useless.
Note the main characteristic of your first boss that makes him OP. He has permanent hit stun.
He has
Or more of it. He ignores hit stun until you hit him enough.
Yes,
And you're fighting multiple units as a single entity, not one boss with a...
Yeah, this boss was a nightmare when I first fought it.
But for balance, they have a small amount of health. Everything has a tiny amount of health, so it equals out to a large.
It equals about a full health bar, which is a good balancing thing, but it is overwhelming, and if it falls over...
Because it's annoying when a boss has like 3 health bars. I've been playing the Mega Man Zero games recently, so that's the only reason I am bitter about a lot of things.
And see, look, even though Sean technically is fighting about 5 things all at once, Sean is only down about half of his life, or 25% now that he's got the heal orb from destroying that last part.
In Mega Man Zero, you would be dead. No, I'm not kidding. The bosses are basically... Well, I'm getting mixed up. They do so much damage, you're basically 3 hits against them.
That was a boss.
What's boss?
Did I mention I put copious amounts of hours into this game?
I beat this first try because if you're not a stupid child and know how
When
to
you've played
dodge...
when you've played a game to death, the shit
There's a
like
man who complains anytime there's not a dodge button in the game.
Yes. Yes, I do.
I don't have my dodge button yet.
Hit dodge button.
I don't have a dodge button yet. I can't have dodge roll. I have to beat this boss for the dodge.
Brave warrior.
This is how you get the dodge roll?
no.
Goofy gives it to me.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Then what did I do when I followed it?
You ran away when it moved.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the only thing you can do unless you hit it hard. Unless it hit it enough times to hit it in the hit stun.
It's telegraphed enough where when the boss is swinging the arms and legs, you run.
I would argue that in this game, except for a couple of optional bosses, and even some of them, all bosses in this game are telegraphed in some way. That's how people learn to play Kingdom Hearts.
Well, that's how you.
Are you sure?
If the enemy that you're facing does not telegraph anything, it's technically unfair to you because you don't know what they're gonna do. Which means that when they do it, it might be so unfair that it might insta kill you, but you don't know it's coming because it just happens.
Well, I mean, there's no heart. Who never quits attacking.
Like I said.
And then there are certain infamously terrible bosses in this game.
None of them are no heart.
All the bosses in this game are telegraphed to some degree, but if the telegraph is a room-filling attack, you know it's coming, but dodging it's the...
This is the point.
It's not so much that it's not telegraphed, it's that when the attack is filling the room, where do you go?
And again, I'm only going to make this point because of things I...
That might be a thumbnail.
And again, I'm only going to make this point because of the...
What about that thumbnail?
What?
Okay, why not?
Something I do...
I'm the one doing all the editing, so I can be the one who comes up with the stupid thumbnails.
Hey, we're about to have a part you can name again. The maiden flight of the Virgin One, the Tomato One. The Virgin flight of the Tomato One.
If it's cut that way.
And if it will fit, but... Yeah, again, I'm...
YouTube's titles are actually quite stingy. You might not know this, but YouTube videos have a title limit. If you have too much text, you can't name it. It says video title too long.
Down that heartless. Who'd have thought it? Such is the power of
Is the scene normally this dark? Because I
No,
swear
I
I
don't know.
remember them being a
If you
silhouette.
play on the HDMI cable, you can see them clearly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You can just see like their eyes.
I don't know what it is about playing Kingdom Hearts in standard definition, but you can't see a thing.
Of course, Kingdom Hearts would have a lot of darkness.
Wait, but again, I cannot record the PS3 through an HDMI cable because Sony encrypted it, rendering it useless to record.
I like how we can't see all the other villains, but we can see their leader.
I mean, that's the important part.
So,
And also,
Normally you hit leader until the end.
and also, who remembers Maleficent? Everyone would remember all the others, but before this, who remembered
I
Maleficent?
think it's more of like it'd be a spoiler because you wouldn't. I mean, you don't know who was talking. You don't know. It could be anybody.
with the HDMI cable, it's really clear,
yeah, because
but
James Wood is very
It
hard to
could be
confuse with
anybody.
somebody else.
But anyway, the point I was going to make, and like I said, I'm only making this
Oh yeah.
because of circumstances. A problem I do have with Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, more this game because 2 put in the reaction commands to fix this. Some of the later bosses in both games I feel have a bit too much health. And there are no checkpoints in any of them. As I said, this only bothers me because of
You
the...
obtain the power of fire.
As I said-
Actually, you were wrong. If there's ever a two-phase boss in Kingdom Hearts, they're normally checkpointed. I mean, all of Xehanort is checkpointed.
It is?
Xemnas? If you die
No.
in any main section of Xemnas,
that
you will
is.
continue on that same section of Xemnas.
I think you're getting it confused with the Data rematch.
Oh, yeah, no, that has no checkpoints, but that's on purpose.
I know. There's dodge. Don't forget to equip your abilities, folks. I've seen people run off bits that the abilities aren't working. They never equipped them.
I played entire games, and they're like, oh wait, abilities are a thing. I equipped them and then had more trouble.
It's almost like the game should have told you could do that.
It did mention it. It's
Oh, look,
just
Slapshot.
Hey, dodge roll.
I need sliding dash.
Rocket.
don't forget to customize your magic. And you can customize Donald and Goofy, where you can set them. Oh, you're gonna do the one thing.
Oh yeah, this is also another problem with Kingdom Hearts 1.
I do not like these things.
At least they fixed the one.
Yeah.
Be
I
glad
don't
about.
like these because I like using the, I'm not sure how you feel about the guest party members, Brian, but I've almost always used them. I don't like using just Donald and Goofy.
But then again, except for
Until late game when Donald and Goofy.
Well, I mean, in reality, the only thing, especially Donald and Goofy,
Can you
the
light
only
the
thing I
candles
see
on
them
that one
as
table?
is I'm low health. Oh, Sora, it's a potion.
They're also good distractions for the enemies.
Yeah, well, to be honest, outside of some very rare examples of Donald and Goofy late game, all your party members are basically as effective as a drooling infant.
You can custom.
In my opinion, you can replace Goofy with anyone.
Except the funny thing about that is late game, once Goofy gets an ability MP gift, you never want him.
I thought it was MP Rage.
No, MP gift. One of his magic units for 3 of yours. Then you just leave Goofy because then he's not using the magic and he'll just Sora and you'll get 3 back for his 1.
Hey, that's why I like Riku in Kingdom Hearts 2. He has that ability that, he basically has he basically trades all of his magic for your entire health bar.
I think the other issue about making the decision between party members is the fact that technically the only static party members you have are Goofy and Donald. All the other ones are just there during the time that you're in that world, which means that from in a reality standpoint, you should only use them when you're there. And you're going to use them when you're there because it's the only time you get to use them.
And they're really good, but
and
then you
because
can't get
they're
the Trinity, and then it's
Because they're restricted to that world, you can't pilfer their equipment, can you?
no.
Well, technically you put their equipment on them. Except for their weapons, obviously, but you can't use their weapons.
Yeah, but because of them being limited, well, actually, just in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, I never gave Donald and Goofy really anything.
I give them my hand-me-downs because it does kind of help. Again, I see them as more mute shields.
And you can customize them to heal you, and if you set it to some sparing use, which you can go into options to do, they might actually heal you at a rather good rate instead of every time you scrape your knees.
So, the reason I'm doing what I'm doing, once you beat this world, there are no Heartless in it, and that's actually a theme in this game. And so I like to go around and get all these loose ends, like exploring all the areas for items and stuff, because I will not be interrupted by Heartless. And, I needed to stock up on some pretty stones.
Except you do.
That's what the item is called.
Synthesis. And it is a trip in this game.
Pretty stones aren't really... Okay, they are used. They're not used, but...
Everything is used, but pretty stones are one of the ones you don't really need much. There are certain items...
Which one is worse, this game's synthesis or is Xenoblade Chronicles Itempedia?
I can't remember. Is that ladder moved?
I thought you had to activate the gizmo shop to get that ladder to...
You're not answering my question.
No, the ladder just moves as part of the story. I couldn't remember if it did it before you actually needed to get up there. The gizmo shop's activating is just for a postcard.
Then it probably didn't move.
Ah, it moved.
I wasn't sure. This is not a game I know a lot of ins and out with. If you want to
I find it...
see me...
That's me, but...
I like you want to see me sweep through a game when we play Ocarina of Time. Oh, I clean house in Ocarina of Time.
I find it funny that we flip-flop between, like, just spoiling something and not spoiling it, depending on what it is.
Maybe you should put spoiler warnings on all your videos. I was about to say, I knew there was a postcard up here. It's hidden in the wall.
The game's like 12 years old. It's their fault if they haven't played it.
There has to be something up here.
Mm-hmm.
Or else there would be a point. There would be like 0 point in you going up further.
And-
Be like, oh look, I'm up
And also, most of the things we spoil are story-related, which after
Sometimes, though, in
point-
game design, they'll leave an area in because they can't remove it where something was going to be and it's not there. Which, to be fair to game creators, sometimes you can't just cut if you're on a time crunch.
Also, guys, oh, is it not here? Oh, the best map to figure out the districts.
I always forget that that's there. I've never
Also,
played
you really
anything like
want to open this door before you ever
Yeah, so.
leave this world because it's a pain to come back to.
Anyway, so.
He's got the key.
Okay, I don't think I can get the other 4 postcards before getting more things.
Again, I was talking about Ocarina of Time, where it's a game I know to death, and I will do, like, the way I
Sound.
I think Donald's walking.
or water or something.
Sounds like water.
When I play Ocarina of Time, I'm gonna.
Fire!
I saw someone miss that door.
Oh,
Sometimes it just doesn't work.
How do you?
this is it.
So.
This is another part where this game's platforming is just not good.
This game's platforming is just not good, Carson.
Wow, he actually admits it.
What? This game? Why would I ever admit to say something like this game's platforming is amazing?
It's just a Kingdom Hearts.
He likes the series, but he has never
I've
said,
never
oh,
played
that
I have
platforming.
yet to play a hack and slash that had good platforming.
Everything about Kingdom Hearts got better into. Like, I'm just saying, the combat, the movement, everything was better. Like, I felt like I could move better, I felt like I could jump better.
Except that you don't platform in Kingdom Hearts 2.
I felt I could hit things 10
Tell
times
me
and
when you
it looked
platformed in
amazing.
Kingdom Hearts 2, man.
Scribble
When did you platform?
You didn't.
Yes, but
And that's a good thing, because
Yeah.
I'm not playing a platform.
yeah, but while,
Right, but you could have.
while Kingdom Hearts 2 improves on a lot of things, that's why I feel the
You mean everything.
I feel the original, it's still an okay game, but it has kind of aged horribly. Kingdom Hearts 2 has its own problems.
But this is at least
Kingdom
still.
Hearts 2 is like the perfect game.
This is at least still pretty playable. Where the only reason at the time I'm recording Paper Mario is because otherwise I will never record it because I would want to go straight to Thousand Year Door.
See, I don't think this is a game where it's like, you have to play this one, otherwise you'll never play it.
I mean,
It has its own merits.
I told you I started on 2. I started on 2 and I went to and I went backwards. And I immediately was like,
It's-
everything's so slow.
Would you replay it though?
Would I replay what? 1?
Yeah.
I played.
It's
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
No,
that.
see, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying one. The fact
I
that
feel
one
like
is slow.
it's like, well,
is
like
a-
what Carr said. If he wasn't playing it or her Let's Play, he would not be playing Paper Mario.
it's not as big of a jump as
I mean, I felt Paper Mario died after 1,000 Years Door. That's the same. First 2 games were amazing. Everything afterwards.
Yeah, but like, what would you
That-
sit down and replay Paper Mario, or would you just rather play
Oh, yeah.
1000 Year Door?
I would play the heck out of Paper Mario. Paper Mario was a good game.
Not just 1000 Year Door?
Not just 1,000 Years Door.
Oh,
I replayed
that's
1,000 Years
the-
Door too.
At the current moment, I'm doing a Danger Mario LP with Sean. That'll be uploaded soon. And I'm gonna do a Danger Mario LP of Thousand Year Door. It's where you set it up so you have 5 hit points and you abuse badges that let you do more damage when you're at critical health. So while you may only have 5 hit points, you hit like a truck.
So I would show off the fact that this world has a world exit, except that I hate the entire logic behind world exits.
Oh, you should have rolled back your saves
No,
just in case if a recording thing happens.
We're fine. He can do what he wants. If he wants to make a safety save, he can. If not, just let him.
I'll make one. But
Remember to roll back the saves.
I would show that this world has a world exit, which is a door that takes you to the gummy ship menu, except that literally only 2 worlds have one.
Yeah, well,
that's true.
I do think that Kingdom Hearts 1 has aged. It isn't as big of a jump from, like... It isn't as big of a jump of, like, Mario 64 to Sunshine, or, like, Devil May Cry 1 to 3.
Devil May Cry 3.
Thousand Year Doors, Danger Mario.
It's named the Highwind. I need to fix this.
I feel like they need to make an actual Paper Mario game again.
I've heard Color Splash is actually pretty good, but that's based on,
my opinion, I have never played Super Paper Mario, but Super Paper Mario is okay as far as it's at least decent. Sticker Star, that was the worst game.
I feel like that's a really good example too.
Yeah, like I said, I have heard apparently Color Splash fixes most of the problems.
But it's still not.
But I believe the review embargo is still up on Color Splash, so I haven't heard a definitive thing.
It's still not a true paper.
Let's just talk about
That's basically
gummy
the
ships.
best example that you could ever give about the whole thing between sequels. Is that the Paper Mario series is exactly that.
Yeah, but this
No game out of the Paper Mario series is anything like Paper Mario or Paper Mario 2004, and every single game has been different.
And I can actually use this to jump off a thing that bothered me. Didn't expect a bunch of these points to come up in Kingdom Hearts of all things, but I guess that's the nature of the beast. A thing that's always like bothered me that I see more and more on the internet now is how people will, if a game is too similar, they'll complain like the new Super Mario Brothers games. But if it makes a radical shift like Thousand Year Door to Super Paper Mario, people then complain it's too different. No matter what you do, people complain.
Okay, no, that's not true. The point is to take the groundwork of the original game and then improve upon it.
This is
like Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 2.
This is my
versus just doing what Mario does, which is the same game with maybe have a couple different power-ups, but it's exactly the same game.
Fundamentals can be about the same, and minor improvements can be good if you fix what's broken. My thing is to use like if a Kingdom Hearts game and it was claimed to be a main series Kingdom Hearts game, but instead of it being the like hack and slash type action, it's now like a say a Phoenix Wright type game, and they claim that was a new. It's like such a radical departure. It's like, the fuck are you guys doing?
But Chain of Memories.
Well, that's the perfect example. Well, what we were talking about, Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 are are basically the same game, just with one being updated. Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories are 2 completely different games.
Because it was reworked to work with technical limits.